Hello, we're back. Welcome to Unscripted Strength. We were on a hiatus because Day was fighting supervillains across the country as she normally does, um, while staying jacked. So I'm Ethan. This is
Day.
we're back for another episode. I think this is going to be episode number 9, which is pretty cool. For any of you that don't know, statistically, if we get to 17 episodes, we're lasting forever. So we're back, going to be halfway there now.
Is that a statistic you read somewhere?
Yes, it is.
Really?
Yeah, 17 episodes is like 95% don't make it to 17 episodes. And the
Interesting.
last podcast I did with my friend, that is nowhere on the internet, you can't find it, because it was insane. We got to 18 episodes, and then he had a daughter, and was just busy and
Yeah.
couldn't do it anymore. But we got to 18 episodes because we both were like, we're
Dang.
gonna do this. We have to
You
send
guys
it.
made it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we made it. We're basically like successful, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so I guess the first thing we normally do is go over our training. So I'm gonna let you go over that so we get something good to start us out, and then I'll rip what I normally do, which is something stupid.
Oh man, I don't know if starting with me is starting on a positive note, but last episode we did was 2 weeks ago, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so since then, I had to cram a lot of work in before heading out on. Actually, no. So yeah, I had to cram a lot of work in because I had a weekend trip for work to Sandy. I say work in quotations because it was a super fun trip to San Diego, Chula Vista area. I don't know how close that is to San Diego, actually. I'm assuming that's
No
close, right?
idea.
I know nothing. I just put it in Google Maps and I drive. And I went there with the triathlon team from the U of A because they had their training camp over there. So they go to the Chula Vista Olympic Training Center, and they just do weekend of training. And so I'm there as like a support staff for doing strength training with them, going through like mobility sessions and all that, and just being there for like the camaraderie side of it. So super fun. And then when I got back, I had a quick turnaround. So I got back home the next day. Next morning, I was flying out to Boston to visit my family, and I was there for about almost a full week. So I was out there. Super fun, but travel usually wrecks me. Physically, I just don't feel good when I travel. And I think we've talked about this in a previous episode where it's like it stresses me out so much, and like my immune system tanks, I get sick, I'm super lethargic. But I went out there with the perspective of like, hey, I'm here for family. If I get to train, cool. If I can't, that's fine. And that's hard for me to do, but I was still able to train. So I would wake up every morning before my family woke up, at 4 o'clock, and I would go to the gym, get a workout in, so I was able to stay on track, and then and then I would spend the rest of the day with my family. So that was good. Felt like trash though towards the end of it. Really needed just the time difference and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, got home this past Sunday, and so today's Thursday. So the past few days has been like a lot of catch up with like work stuff, home stuff, and workout stuff. So I feel like yesterday was like the first day where I was like, okay, I feel like I'm performing normally again. The previous 2 weeks, it's like I've been performing fine and like still staying on track with everything. It just didn't feel great. It was more like, man, that was harder than what I wanted it to feel like, but I still was able to get it. Where like yesterday and today, it's like, okay, I'm back. This is normal now. So yeah, yeah. So it's been.
What is your family's response when you wake up at 4 in the morning to go work out? Are they like super supportive, or are they talking some smack to you? Because that's how I would be. Even as someone who
Yeah,
does this, I'm talking
yeah.
shit immediately.
I think my family's more like they're not like I'm not from a family of athletes or anything. Like it's not normal for people to work out on a daily
Mm-hmm.
basis or have a good workout routine or focus a lot on their fitness and health. So for them it's like they're used to it of me
Mm-hmm.
doing this, so they're like, yeah, of course she's going to do that. Like when I get home, my mom and my dad, they're like, oh, hey, we're gonna, in the driveway, we have mom's car at the end. So when you go to the gym in the morning, you could use her car. Like they already
Mm-hmm.
had that planned out because they're like,
Oh,
we
that's
know this
nice.
is what you're gonna do. Yeah, so they're super supportive of it, but it's not like it's not like a normal thing. Like my parents, I wouldn't say my siblings and I grew up in like a household where like fitness and your health was like a big focus.
Yeah.
But we each found it as we grew up, and
Yeah.
I think just we just found it. And so I'm glad like myself and my siblings like prioritize that, which is great. But that wasn't like, it's not like a norm in my family.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I was just saying like we would talk shit just because that's how my family is. Like if
Oh
I
yeah.
I know for a fact like if and when I go on vacation with my family in the future and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go work out, they'd be like, what the what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Dude, so Ethan, actually, I think you would get along really well with my dad. My dad is like, he's 60, 61 now. This dude has like a six pack still. He's like, he's just like,
Dog.
he's a lean dude and like has muscle. I don't know how. And he's a shit talker though. He'll talk
Yes.
shit. Like he'll,
Yes.
and so, I go to the gym and stuff like that. And then I get home. He's like, oh, like, yeah, I haven't stepped in the gym, but every day at work, I'm basically working out, picking stuff up. Like, fuck it, I bet you, some 18-year-old, 20-year-old, I could beat them. Blah blah blah, and he'll just like talk a lot of shit, and I'm like, oh man, but I don't
Yes.
doubt it. At the same time, like my dad, he's an interesting guy. Like, I'm pretty sure if you tell him to like do some calisthenics like
Hmm.
stuff on like the monkey bars at this age, like he'll do it, even though
Hell yeah.
he was never like an athlete or you'd never find him in a gym.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy.
I mean, the shit talking has to happen. It has to
Yeah,
be that
yeah,
way.
yeah.
But I just don't know any other way. Like we try. Like sometimes we'll go to move my chair. Sometimes we'll go to my parents' house to dinner, and my brothers will be there, and my mom will pull us aside and be like, "Hey, you gotta, we're keeping it toned down today." My
Cause you're,
stepdad, who's an avid listener, will put on the song "Closing Time."
yeah, yeah.
His phone's connected to the speakers in the house, and we'll start. All of us are just going at it. It's like 9 or 10, and he'll put that song on and blast it through the house, and just be like, "Get out of my house."
Cause you're all brothers, right? There's no sisters.
Yeah, so on my mom's side, it's me, my older brother, and my younger brother. And my older
Okay,
brother's 3 years
yeah.
older, and my younger brother's 10 years younger than me.
Okay,
And he's
yeah,
20 now. So he also is in prime shit talking time. And my
yeah.
brother and I just never left that. We just grew up that way. So, and I try to be different now. Like sometimes I go over there and I'm like, I don't have to be like this anymore. I don't gotta talk shit every time. And the funny thing is like, everyone's kind of like talking shit. And then one person, and like there's like six of us, one person will step a little bit too far. Like it's all even, the
Yeah.
exchanges. But if one person steps a little bit too far out of line, like says something too stupid, the entire table turns on them at once. And it's just like everyone's gonna light you up for it. And it's fun.
uh,
I think it's fun. My stepdad, not so much. But
yeah,
he's a trooper. He sticks with it.
yeah, yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
yeah, but it's fun. I like talking
Yeah.
shit. Especially like I'm really good when I'm losing a game is when my shit talking is
If
the
you're a good shit.
best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 'cause I know that like, most of a game is like all head games and stuff. Like when I kickboxed and I would tie up with people, I would just start saying like little things to them.
To get in their
Just
head.
yeah, 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 yeah. Like that
Yeah.
was a cute shot. And it's like single or double like two words,
Yeah.
just
That's a
little
big thing
things.
in like in the MMA world, right? Like
Yeah,
Conor McGregor. People loved him for that. Like that
yeah,
was like he was just all shit talking, but he backed it up. That was his thing.
yeah,
Right? Like he's like, "Oh, I talk all this shit, but I back it up."
yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's fun to talk shit, and I'm
Yeah.
never doing it like maliciously. I'm always just trying to have a goofy time. But
Yeah.
I'll run my mouth quite a bit. But
Yeah. That's funny.
my training, how's it been going? I'm
Yeah.
finally following a plan that I wrote for myself, so that's on the positive side. Is it a plan focused on running? Absolutely not. I said it in a podcast, maybe the last one or the one before. I had had a overuse injury with my ankle from doing too much running too fast, which I was fairly certain I was going to do that because I don't
Mm.
have a chill button. So I'm doing like a mile and a half to 1 to 3 miles a week right now, and just kind of
Okay.
picking that back up. So this week, tomorrow I'll run another mile, easy mile. Well, it'll be 2.5 miles, and then Saturday I'll run 1 or 2 miles, and then I'll just
Okay.
slowly pick that back up. But the problem is, I'm writing my own plan, so it's like
Yeah.
I don't care. And I also want three things. I want to run a marathon. I want to do this new Apex shit, and
Yeah.
I want to stay strong. And I don't
Okay.
think I can do the three of those together. Maybe I can, who knows? But
I mean, it's hard, right?
yeah, I
And I
mean, no
think,
one's running a marathon and doing a vert jump at their best. There's no way.
right, there's some sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I think you have to have a lot of things in tune, to still do both of those really well. I do think
Hmm.
it's possible. Although, I do also do think the fitness influencers that do that, not the apex thing, but like the, running the marathon is still being, let's say, extremely strong and all that.
Hmm.
I don't want to say they're all on PEDs, but I
Dude,
do have a feeling that many of them may be.
listen,
I don't
Day,
want to
if you want to
discredit
monitor
them.
my drug use, I'll start. If that's what you're saying,
That's what I was trying to hint at, was that
you don't need to hint.
I
Don't walk
think
around the bush on that one. Don't bury the lead. I'm
I
here for it.
I do think you may be on something.
I would,
Yeah.
dude, listen. People make the joke all the time, but if I could afford the constant blood work
Yeah.
and the drugs, I would try a round of a certain type of performance enhancing.
Yeah.
Not, I think a lot of people get wrapped up in and what I understand is like competition at a very high level. If you're
Mhm.
in a field in which that is drug regulated, like by USADA or WADA, and that's the World Anti-Doping Agency, U.S. Anti-Doping Agency for anyone who doesn't know, and you're cheating, fine, fuck you. However, if you're in if it's an untested thing
Yeah.
and you're not using some kind of performance enhancing, why not? What are we doing? And I think this goes back to this idea I have of we're grown adults playing games that we all played in elementary school. And we're getting
Yeah.
wrapped up in the fact that some people are taking drugs to do better at a game. It's a game. We're
Yeah.
playing games here. So I would do it. I'm not saying I'd compete, and if I competed, I would be very honest about the fact that I was taking drugs, because who cares? I mean, the drugs, for anyone listening who has that idea of steroids are just making them the best. People who take steroids and are really good at what they do work so much harder than you. Like, you can't take steroids and then wake up and be like, oh, I can squat 600 pounds.
Oh yeah.
No, you have to work like a
Yeah.
dog to do that, even on steroids. So
Yeah.
really, what I'm saying here is I'm taking steroids and I'm eating donuts as my primary nutrient. It is what it is.
I think so. Okay, so if someone were to go to you and they're like, "Oh, hey, Ethan, I think you're on something," what's your reaction?
My reaction, honestly, would be to laugh and be like, dude, I wish I was. I would. That's the thing. Is you could try to catch me up on that. First of all, my physique does not match this person doing steroids. The second thing, my strength numbers don't match the person doing steroids. The third thing is, I would do it. I would. So I don't care. I would do it. So if you were like, Ethan, you're doing steroids, I'd be like, first of all, flattering. Thank you very much for this. That's a huge ego boost here. However, if you know someone who has them, I'm looking. No, I don't know. Yeah, the I don't know. I think that's how I'd respond. I'd be like, dude,
Yeah.
I wish I was. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much.
It's
You think I'm
exactly
doing
so.
steroids?
Like,
Wow.
you think I look that big? Thank you. That's
That's so
exactly what I was.
nice. Yeah, that's how I'd
I'd be
feel. I'd be
so
like, shit,
flattered.
bro. Yeah, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god. If someone thinks you look like you're on steroids, you're like,
Yeah. It's
I'm
like,
doing it, dude. I'm doing it.
man.
I'd be like, maybe I
Like,
should start steroids. Shit.
yeah. At this point, like, imagine what I'd look like if I was on steroids.
Yeah. Well, listen, Day. Maybe that's
Yeah.
this. Maybe that's what this podcast turns into, is a pro steroids. Have you seen the new Olympics that are doing steroids, the enhanced games? Have you seen this?
I saw that was being promoted. Yes.
And I think that's the
That's kind of
best way to
crazy.
do it, because half of the athlete. If okay, here's my theory in my head.
Yeah.
I would say conservatively, a third of all professional athletes are cheating. No question, a third.
I think a good
So
chunk, yeah.
why not just let's just? I think combat athletes are a different story.
Mhm.
Because when that shit, I mean, if it's two consenting people and they want to do that, fine. But combat athletes gets a little bit weird, because there's a few athletes that have sued different organizations in combat sports because the person they were fighting was taking steroids, and it was kind of known, and then they suffered pretty severe injuries. So
Okay.
I don't need someone who's 180 pounds producing the same force as someone who's 250 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a little crazy. And then punching me in the eye socket, maybe not the greatest idea. But a javelin thrower, we're saying it's not okay for you to take drugs? What are we talking about? They're throwing a spiky stick into a field.
Yeah.
like oh my God. See, you came out today trying to make me upset, Day. This is what happened. Lance Armstrong got all of his titles stripped away from him. He rides a bicycle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know
Yeah.
it's like more complicated because he like lied and he sold his partners, whatever, like all the stuff, whatever. But that never should have happened. He's riding a bicycle.
Yeah.
All the other guys were taking drugs and they're riding bicycles. Let them take drugs while they ride bicycles and get paid money to ride bicycles. No
Yeah.
one's getting hurt here.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy. I don't understand. Baseball was only fun to watch when they were doing steroids and just
Like
cramming balls out.
Sammy Sosa and all of
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I
Barry
don't want to
Barry
watch
Bonds,
now.
right?
Yeah.
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 Look, every game was a home run derby.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's funny. A whole different perspective, I think, than the other side of the other side of people who are very against like the enhanced games and
Yeah.
and both sides have some truth to it, like everything.
Sure.
Like everything, there's truth on both sides, and I'm not like a performance enhancing drug expert. I don't know all of the health complications that comes with it. I know there are a lot of things that are dangerous with it. Some of the obvious with like the heart complications and all that. And depending on what drug you're using, whether it's like performance enhancing drugs with like EPOs versus like, some hormone type thing like increased testosterone or whatever, and Anavar, all that. But yeah, so that is an interesting topic.
just to piggyback what Dave said. I know here's why I have this perspective, just to tie this up quickly. Dave's point was they're potentially dangerous. I get that. I think like a lot of things, if you make something illegal to do, people are still going to do it, just without the potential protections of doing it legally. So if you had it like an open air thing where everyone could, it's not taboo, then you would have businesses opening that sell these things to the people and can monitor their blood work and their blood pressure and all these things and know actually how to use them, rather than people going and getting it, however they do via online stuff through like compounding pharmacies overseas, and then just injecting at home based on some like bro logic or ChatGPT or whatever. And then I think that's where people run into issues, because like there's a few bodybuilders who are super open about, bodybuilders specifically, super open about using drugs, and they'll like they publish their stack, like what they use, everything. But these guys are also doing like blood work every 2 months. They're on statins. They're monitoring the things that are causing problems, and then coming off how they're supposed to come off, because they're working with endocrine specialists so that they don't get hypogonadism, they don't suffer a lot of these issues. So I'm always a proponent of education over abstinence with stuff like this. Like I'd rather people do it in the open air and it be much safer than everyone do it in the shadows and be like, no.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference between like most sports that are it's illegal to do performance enhancing drugs in bodybuilding, where like the biggest organization, the NPC, is not drug tested. It's like, if you're gonna compete, like you're open to do it. So we see people like at the Olympia stage, the national bodybuilding stage, or the worldwide bodybuilding stage, and they're openly using it and they're openly saying these things. But there's also, because it's illegal in all other sports and it's also looked down upon, there's that, like you were saying, that lack of education. So these bodybuilders put out like, hey, this is my stack, this is what I'm doing, and people are like, I'm gonna do the same thing, and it's like, bro, no,
3 grams a week. You're like, don't do it. It's
like you're a bikini competitor and you're taking like the same drug stack as like
Chris
a heavyweight bodybuilder, a classic physique male competitor. So that gets kind of dicey too. But that was actually, I was listening to another podcast that was talking about that, about how a lot of bodybuilding coaches, because anyone could be a bodybuilding coach, right? As long as you have some type of credibility and someone wants to work with you. And they'll prescribe like, hey, this is what you're going to take. Like, they're not specialized or anything. They'll just be like, hey, this is what you're going to take. And sometimes they give this to their athletes, and the athletes don't know. They're uneducated and they don't about the topic, and they don't know that, like, oh shit, this shit's illegal. Like, they'll just say, okay, cool, that's what I need to take. This is the guy to contact to get that stuff. Sweet. Like, and then they're giving them dosages that aren't appropriate to them based on, weight, height, what they need, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how people get wrapped up and they're like, crap, like I was a bikini competitor and now I have a very deep voice and side effects that are not reversible and they're kind of
Yeah.
screwed. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
also
it's
kind of
crazy.
crazy too.
So yeah, don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't do drugs. That's the end of my statement there. Don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, to wrap up my training, it's going okay. I need to pay someone to write me an actual plan to run. Maybe I just need to let it go and just have someone write me a full plan, like lifting and running, instead of separating the two. But
Mm-hmm.
that'll happen at some point. And I
Yeah.
need to commit to one thing, or just commit to being stupid and trying to do it all, which is kind of like my MO and fun. Which,
Yeah.
fuck around and find out. It's kind of a
Yeah.
fun way to train yourself.
Yeah. I think that's the most fun about training. It's like how much can I do and get away with and still like
Mhm.
see improvements? Like can I how much can I defy the textbook science or the common misconceptions or the common perspective of fitness
Yeah,
in this industry?
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's always a fun thing. And I think that's why like I gravitated towards CrossFit because it's like, oh, you can do Olympic lifting and have like a crazy engine and also do like relative body weight movements and that are super complicated and yeah, and right, all these things and be super strong.
yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right? So I think that's why it's fun. Like people watch these CrossFit competitions and these CrossFit Games athletes like holy shit, they're able to do that. Like
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
they're freaks. They're
Yeah.
freaks. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think this is a good segue into what we were talking about before we started, which is overtraining and people thinking that they're overtraining when they're not. But like the example I'll use and like us talking about like it's fun to kind of experiment on yourself if you're willing to deal with the consequences sometimes. I just want to
Hmm.
say that first because you can fuck around and find out and then you find out. It's not the
Yeah.
greatest thing ever. So like I did like 4 or 5 months of 3 leg days a week. And like traditional like strength stuff, I should have probably been at like between like 8 and 12, 8 and 14 sets a week of legs, right? Like
Hmm.
nothing crazy, but like hard stuff. And I was doing 3 days a week of squatting, heavy. Two
Mm.
heavy days, one lighter volume day, but like just so much. And I tried to see how fast I could get my squat up, and it worked really well until my knees were toast. And they're pretty much fine now. Like I'm back to pretty much normal. But, like I did that for months before my knees started to get cranky. And to anyone listening, like they started to get cranky, I backed off and they got a lot better. And that only took a couple weeks of reducing my volume. And
Yeah.
it's spiked here and there and I don't think I've done any. I mean, my knees hurt the most before I did this long run of squatting. When I first started at Block, there was a combination like working construction and a couple other things, and the injuries I had kickboxing. When I started at Block, my knees were trashed. Like standing up, I got this super sharp ping straight down from like the top of my kneecap down my shin. On my left knee, right knee would just like grind and have sharp pain, and then I'd go home at night and it would hurt all the way into my ankle and all the way up to my hip. Like my whole leg would just throb. And it did that for months. And then I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna see if I can get my legs stronger and do some like heavy isos and start adding back in plyos. And then it started getting better. And then it got better and I was like, what if I just did 5 months of 3 leg days a week and see how that went? And yeah, my left knee kept getting swollen. And by that I mean like an effusion, like I would finish squatting and it would fill with fluid and feel like crap and that's when I backed it off. And now I'm fine.
Yeah.
So you really can kind of play around sometimes and
Yeah.
see how it goes. And I don't even think I overtrained. I mean, I think I pushed it a little too far with my legs, but in like a general sense,
Yeah.
my
Probably
legs
overused
kept
to that
getting,
specific
yeah,
region. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, but my legs kept getting stronger, and I squatted 395 pounds. So,
Yeah.
and I started at like I could do like, when I started that, I think I was at like 305 for like one or two, and I got 395 for one.
Wow. Okay,
Like
that's a
five,
huge
I think
jump.
it was like between like 5 or 6 months, and
Yeah.
I just wasn't squatting, so it was more of like I think I was doing the pattern so often, and I was like actually watching what I was doing and like putting the numbers down, messing with percentages, intensities, and all that stuff. So I mean, you can make a big difference in
Yeah.
half a year.
For sure. I think when like you increase frequency to that extent, like I think after a certain period of time, you're going to feel those like overused things, but you're also going to see like the improvements with it because if you're squatting 3 times a week, you're probably going to get stronger. Like
Yeah.
And that's for a lot of like competitive powerlifters, like that's normal. They're squatting, benching, deadlifting multiple times a week, and they have primary days, secondary days, like a squat
Yeah.
primary squat, secondary squat, tertiary or whatever. But they're competitive powerlifters who have built up to that over time, and they also are really good at managing the dosage and like the intensity of those days, right? Like the primary day obviously is the one that's going to be most intense. The second one is the secondary is probably gonna be, some type of another variation, maybe another variation of a squat, maybe another intensity, whatever. But if you're doing 3 days of like crazy intensity, then yeah, you're probably gonna have some painful knees there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, but not my smartest. I think I was doing like a 5-3-1. So I was like, I just want to see how this goes. So my Mondays were 5-3-1s, give or take. My
Mhm.
Wednesdays, my second days were, and I in my head was like a conjugate style, like switching squat exercises. So Mondays were back squats, Wednesdays were safety Hatfields, but safety
Mhm.
bar Hatfield squats, and then Fridays were either front squats or low bar squats. Because I was doing this all high bar on my
Mm.
Mondays. I want to get my high bar squat that high. I can
Yeah.
low bar squat really, really well. Whatever my leverages are, the low bar squatting is so much easier for me, but it ruins my shoulder and I just can't seem
Yeah.
to get the mobility. Or something's up with my left shoulder. I've tried so much mobility stuff and every accessory I can find for my shoulder, everything I can do. And just like that prolonged position that deep, just not fun for me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was like, what if I do a 5-3-1 on Mondays, assisted like over strength on Wednesdays, so I can go up above my normal percentages to feel the weight, and then Fridays I do like some accessory lift, but front squats, and I thought front squats would help me a lot, which I feel like they did because they are
Yeah.
disgusting and terrible and awful. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, did that for a while, and it was kind of fun,
Yeah.
good time.
Did you ever feel like so that one was more overused? Do you ever feel like you overtrained in general?
The only time I ever did that, I felt like I actually overtrained, was a combination of work volume and stress and exercise. And I think, uh, working, I've never, with like decent nutrition and sleep, felt like I have overtrained.
Mm.
Maybe like once or twice kickboxing, but that was when it was when keto was like on the rise, and I decided to
Yeah.
do a high volume, long workload sport trying to be keto.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And losing weight. The guy I was kickboxing with wanted me to get down to 155 pounds, and I was like
Yeah.
185. So I was like stripping off so much weight to get down there, and
Mm-hmm.
as keto, so I know the fuel just was not working for me, and I was sick. I legitimately like cold, like flus-like
Yeah.
symptoms, like every 3 weeks. I was just dying, and I
Yeah.
was like, "No, babe, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm just gonna keep eating this avocados and this ground beef and this sour cream. It's fine." This,
Sour cream.
this is so stupid, dude. Just
Then.
drinking olive
Yeah.
oil. Not actually,
Oh,
I never got there, but
you never got that far.
no,
You were
no,
saved before then.
no. Yeah,
Good.
say before then. I think I've under rested. I don't think I've ever overtrained myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's definitely, especially in combat sports, or I think like sports of that type where like very volume heavy.
yeah, that kind of stuff. Yeah, all the combat athletes are a little bit stupid.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
actually. I love that's my favorite sport for sure, but those are it's like wrestlers. If you've ever worked with wrestlers, they're
Yeah.
just actual. You have to pull them off of what they do. You're like,
There's
yo,
like
you
no
guys gotta
stop in
chill.
their brain.
No,
Yeah.
they're freaks. I hate
Yeah.
working with them. Like
Yeah.
when I was kickboxing, we would like I was doing Muay Thai and we'd have wrestlers come, whoever joined. When they were wrestlers, you're like, ugh, I don't want to go against him. It's just non-stop. They won't stop. They
Yeah.
never stop.
Yeah. There's always more to do. I think with people who are like competitive CrossFitters, they're very much of that mindset. Um, Endurance athletes too have a
Yeah.
little bit of that. But wrestlers, I think, is the one that's like most known for that. Like they have a grind. There's just
Yeah.
something like in their brain that just doesn't stop. But
Have
yeah,
you
I
ever
think
trained?
I think I've gotten there, or at
Yeah.
least like danced with that line
Mhm.
a bit. And like I had a lot of like overtraining symptoms, and it wasn't something that happened like acutely. It was pretty chronic. And this was when I was doing like CrossFit. I would be training like 3-4 hours a day of actual training. Like I would split it up mostly into 2 sessions every day, and that was multiple times a week. And it was just like some of the some of the symptoms that I felt was like hair loss. Like my hair was definitely thinning, like heart palpitations. My hunger was very like suppressed. Like I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't hungry at all, for especially for the amount of work I was doing. Like I just wasn't hungry at all, which would lead to things like migraines, getting a lot of colds like you were mentioning, like constant
Mm-hmm.
colds that would just like reoccurring and they wouldn't go away. And one thing that happens with me is when I notice it is I have like I could feel the tiredness,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which, when you're training hard, I think whether you're overtraining or not, you're going to feel that. But for me, I feel it like it's like my eyes feel super exhausted. Like I feel it in my eyes. It feels like they're going to shut all the time, but they'd also start like twitching. And I had a twitch in my eye that lasted like 4 weeks, like nonstop. It
No.
was just like a twitch, like, that heartbeat twitch.
Oh, yeah.
And so I just felt it there for 4 weeks and I'm like, what the hell? So those were like common things for me, like menstrual period, like my menstrual cycle was all jacked up. I was missing my period for months at a time. So that was a big thing. Brittle nails, that's another one that I was having. So all those things. Eventually, what really got me was the hair loss. I was like, I can't lose my hair. Like I will tone it.
Way to rub that in.
I was like, yeah, I was like, I could push
Like,
through
that's it.
everything,
I'm
but
done.
when I see hair
Cancel
loss,
my membership.
yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll tone this down a bit. And it was a mixture too. Like I think part of the overtraining was caused by under recovery. I feel like naturally I'm a high stress person. Like
Yeah.
I take on probably more than I can handle a lot of times, and it
What, dude?
sometimes
That's crazy. Who would say that? That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
And
it's not like
sometimes that
most people
affects
quit
me.
their. No, most people definitely don't like maybe take a break from their job to work on just the PhD. That would no, 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 no. People don't do that. That's
No, no.
crazy. That would be wild
Yeah.
if you did that.
Yeah, that is crazy. That is
No, but
crazy.
yeah, I mean that. I think I've been overtrained, but via like a more of like a stress and like sleep pathway rather like
Yeah.
with the exercise on top, but probably not from like actual like too much like just overreaching in the
Yeah.
like how much work can I put in? Maybe a couple like maybe I've hit like some non-functional overreaching things when I was kickboxing, but not since I stopped that. I have not done any like meaningful volume in that direction. Minus the
Mhm.
running, but the thing I got from that was just an overuse injury on my ankle that's
Mm.
already resolving itself. And for anyone out there listening, like Day and I kind of talked about this a little bit off air, and we're gonna air you out on this one. But you're not overtraining, and you shouldn't be worried about it for like most people. And the only people I've ever talked to who have overtrained are athletes in a semi-professional and professional setting. And
Yeah.
if you're doing something like I did where I was getting sick or overtraining from stress, which is like a really similar, and maybe you disagree, but it's I think a similar pathway of like you're putting too much load into the nervous system, into what it can recover from, and
Mm.
your stress and your sleep, and you just start to like your immune system starts to shut down, and your adrenals, like everything's just shot, and you can't
Mhm.
function anymore because you're just constantly overworked and constantly underrested and constantly underfed. So like if you're doing that, like if you're working like night or like morning to night every day and doing all this stuff and not eating and not sleeping, you will find that very
Right.
quickly. But if you work at a desk or you don't do a lot of physical stuff and you're not super stressed all the time, you rip it.
Yeah.
You just send it. Full send it
Yeah.
until a joint hurts and then just pull it back a little bit.
Yeah, if you're not training every day, that's also another one, right? If you're
Yeah.
doing I would say if you're doing less than 10 hours a week of training of any
Yeah.
sort. If you're working with a coach, most likely you're not overtraining, because I like to believe that most coaches aren't crazy, and there are some out there, but aren't crazy, and they're not doing like high intensity every day with like no rhyme or reason. It's just like go hard until you throw up type of thing. You're probably not overtraining. I think some people feel repetitive soreness
Mhm.
on maybe consecutive day, or soreness that is either lingering longer than they would like, or they feel it consecutive days or consecutive weeks, and it's like,
Mhm.
you're fine, right?
Yeah. You'll be good.
Yeah, you'll be good. You're not
Mhm.
overtraining. And like the people who I've seen overtrain, from my experience, usually are in team sports, because in team sports, there's a blanket, right? Like everyone's doing, most of the time, they're doing this training and
Hmm.
everyone's doing it without regard of genetic factors. And then we know, if you're in a team of, let's say, 15 athletes, well, this person, Sue, has great recovery genetics, and this person is trash and needs an extra day. But they can't take that extra day
Yep.
because coach has this that they wrote out for everyone
Hmm.
for sports practice. And so their they go to sports practice like, man, I feel like trash, but it's a requirement. I have to be here to be on the team. And then after my sports practice, I have to go do my strength training, supplemental strength training and conditioning and all this stuff. So that compounding effect is usually where I see it, where there's like the individual person isn't a mix of all these like elite freaks, and they're like, oh crap, I have to keep up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, like when we were like kickboxing too, like that's how you have that adrenaline, and CrossFit's the same way. Any group style training, you can push someone too far because it's like the whole group is carrying you.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be like, I don't want to do this. Like if you're in
Yeah.
the in LA Fitness with headphones in and you're like, I don't want to squat today. But if you walk into a room in a powerlifting gym and like their music's loud, everyone's going, it's like the atmosphere is different. It'll carry you.
Yeah.
Any of those team things or group things will really push you. So I think the thing I really just want people to feel is like, if you want to see the results and you're doing like between 2 and 5 days a week of like low to medium high intensity, just send it. Like
Yeah.
if you're eating okay and sleeping okay, like push yourself a little bit harder in those 1 hour sessions. I mean, it's 1 hour. If you sleep for 8 hours, which most people do not, you got what? Like 16 hours to go, right? You got 60. One of the one and a half of those hours is you putting in a high effort of work. What are we talking about here? Maybe those people need to take steroids. Don't take steroids. Don't do it. Don't take steroids. No, but yeah, I think we say this like every podcast. I just want to encourage people to like just really work it, just like
Yeah.
get out there, get after it. You're in the gym, grab the bar, rip it. Crystal's been doing it. Shout out Crystal. She's been
Hey,
showing up to the
Crystal.
gym, being like, "Oh, I feel like I can't not work out. I listen to you guys' stupid podcast." I'm like, "Damn straight, dude. You gotta send it, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta send it. You gotta send it. Have fun with
Yeah.
it."
I mean, I think that's the luxury we have of being, the general population, is that we have the luxury of like going hard on our workouts and all that. Where like, I get like the fact that we get to, go hard in those workouts and have the rest of the 16 hours of the day to recover and do our work and live life. Like
Hmm.
that's awesome. Like, because the athlete life, you're forced to do that almost 24 hours a day, and that sucks
Yeah.
truly. Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
and yeah, it's like, for example, like last week when I was traveling, I got home to Massachusetts, 3 hours ahead of us, so time zone's different or whatever. So the next day I'm like, well, I don't want to miss my workout, so I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna wake up at 4 a.m., which is 1 a.m. over here in Arizona, but it's like, I'm gonna go. I woke up, I went, I did my workout, I go home, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go to sleep later. I'll just go to sleep earlier. Or I'm just gonna chill for the rest of the day. So
Yeah.
that's what I did. My sister's also super. We're very much aligned in how we like to hang out and our sense of humor and all that. So
Hmm.
like one day I was like, man, I'm tired. Like what? She was asking, what should we do today? Like we should do something fun. And I'm like, well,
Hmm.
I'm tired. She's like, all right, we're gonna nap. So that's what we did as our hangout session. Is we
I was
just
about to
nap.
say, I could only guess there's a nap or something on the couch coming, which I'm
Yeah.
here for.
And it was amazing. It was the best time. But it's like I get to go hard because I know there's stuff like that waiting on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah, full send it, people. Just
Yeah.
give it your all. It's fun
Yeah.
too. Like there's been a few people who have actually listened to the podcast at the gym. Shout out to you, who have said to me, it's more fun doing it this way. Like it's
Yeah.
fun. And I try, it's hard to convince someone when they're scared of the weight. And I'm not saying it's not scary to like say it's your feelings are not valid, but when you get there, when you finally cross that bridge and you're like, "Oh, it is kind of fun to just like
Yeah.
throw heavy shit around." It's like we've been trying to tell you. It's weird.
Yeah.
Your brain's like, "Yeah, that was 35 pounds. That's no big deal. I'm pretty
Yeah.
cool." So, you
Yeah.
grab the 40 and you're like, "Damn, am I on steroids?" Like, well, who am
Like, oh my
I? What
god.
am I doing?
I kind of look like Chris Bumstead right now.
Stop it. I wish. I wish. Work hard, have fun, eat donuts,
Yeah.
recover, have a Diet
Yeah.
Coke,
Yeah. Do you have a Diet Coke?
my sparkling,
Yeah, okay.
my fizzy water
Nice.
that I had 3 of yesterday.
It's my second fresco of the evening.
I re-up soon, so. And don't worry, people, there's no aspartame in this. It's just sparkling water. I'm
Yeah,
not
it's,
gonna
it's
die.
literally water.
Hmm.
You're actually the king of health right now.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that's really, I mean,
Yeah.
that's my life right now is I need to go find someone to write me a program. Maybe I'll just pay you, Dave. Maybe I'll make you do it. Maybe you'll write my
Uh,
program, huh?
we should do the same program, honestly.
We're doing your program, not my program. You can follow your program. I can't follow my program. You're good at that.
We could do this. Yeah, we could have the same template.
Yeah. You just
Yeah.
upload your shit and my shit, and I'll put it on
Yeah.
the Block Fitness app, and then I'll just track it that way.
That'd be fun, actually.
Yeah, you just use when you write your plan, just CC me on that email.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
here you
Got
go,
you.
bam, and I'll just do it. Whatever it is, I'll keep up with your volume too. It's no big deal. I'll accommodate immediately. I'll wake up the first week after, certainly, totally fine.
Yeah.
I'll go from 5 sessions, 5 exercise sessions a week to 11. It's only a 2x jump. Two's a small
It's just
number.
like it's split up. It's just split up, right?
Hmm.
Like yesterday, my leg day, 3 exercises, like
What was it? What was it?
front squats, RDLs, and then single leg squat to bench, single
Oh
leg
yeah.
squat to box. Yeah,
Okay. So
yeah,
I did the basically the same thing. Yeah, that's what mine is. I think we texted
yeah,
about that. I had front squats, RDLs, and walking lunges, which
yeah. Which I do.
same.
Yeah, and the reason I did the single leg squat to bench a box was because I did walking lunges a few days before, so I was like, I kind of like it was too close together, and I was like, let me just spread it apart a little bit.
You said I don't wanna. I
Yeah,
don't wanna.
I don't
I
want.
don't wanna. I don't wanna do that.
It's like I write my own program, so I'll
That's
just
what I'm
change it
saying.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that's hard is like I know what to do. So when I've had other people
Yeah.
write me a program, there are times where I'm like, I don't want to do this fucking exercise.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
do something different.
Yeah.
No, I want to do something different. It's not hard enough. Which is
Yeah.
dumb. Which is probably why I'm a king of overuse injuries.
Yeah.
Because I feel it and I'm like, I'll be fine, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're being such a baby right now. And then a week later, babe, my ankle hurts so bad. Oh man. All right. Are you gonna count us out, Day?
Yeah, I'll do that. All right, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, follow. Follow our Instagram page. Follow Ethan's Instagram page. Show some love. And you got any last words?
My last words are: if you are watching this, the video part, and you can see my balding head, just know I'm okay. That's it. Those are my last words. No, I don't have any last words, I don't think. Train
Okay.
hard, have fun, drink aspartame by the gallon. I think that's
Yeah,
my last word, honestly.
that's perfect.